Your only fear was of becoming yourself. That statement is true for absolutely every single person. And if we were able to become ourselves, we would be living the lives we were meant to live. We would be prosperous. We would be happy. We would be creating things. We would be doing all of this. But we have this other thing that happens, which is called fear and doubt. We don't believe that we have all of those things. I am the best example of that, which is why I'm talking about it now. That message is on my site, anyadvicefortoday.com, which you can read it there. And it will show you how I know this, because it took me back to a message I received in 2019, which said pretty much the same thing. That I had been given this information that I had been afraid to talk about, to put out into the world, because I might be judged. I might be seen as somewhat different or strange, and that's what we're all supposed to do. We're supposed to be different, and we're going to be a little strange. If we want to evolve, then we have to be willing to walk into weird, strange, and different, because that's the only way that anything ever changes. We come into the world with a blueprint, each person, and that blueprint is saying these are the things that would cause us to evolve, that would cause us to become happy, live the lives that we want, and it would also contribute to our society, meaning that whatever we do that causes us to evolve, go into a lighter place, to ascend in that sense, it will add that energetic essence into the world and cause the world to be quite different. What you're seeing now is not that. You're seeing something completely different happening in the world, which has happened before, because we've been through these periods many, many times in our civilizations. But we happen to be alive now during this time. And I will tell you that every single person alive has something within them that they're meant to do, that they're meant to offer to the world, but many times we get stuck. And you may be in that stuck place, and you might think it's because of what's happening in the world that you're being stuck, but no. It's not that at all. What's happening in the world is happening so you can get unstuck, so that you can move into that person that you were meant to be. That's what I had to do. I kept talking about my program and your life operating instructions, and I started it with 4 weeks to your best life, as I've told you. And I said this couldn't possibly be. How could I have this thing that would help everyone move through their lives in a much better way, because we're going through this big restructuring. We're changing the world. That's what's going on. That's why we're having a war. That's why we're having famine. That's why we're having weather conditions. All of it is all connected, because the world needed to change. But for it to change, it has to be you. It has to be me. And that's what I'm deciding to do. I put out something yesterday. I said I decided to own my fear and doubt. Because we all have it. We have to acknowledge that we can't change anything we can't see or that we're not acknowledging. And every single person has this. Because if you didn't, everything about your life would be wonderful. Everything about your life would be working in this operational way that would cause you to feel successful and at peace. But we know that we're not there. I wasn't there. And I understand now why. Because I was not allowing myself to become myself, and that was my greatest fear. And I received that message many, many years ago as well, is that typically the thing that you fear the most is your gift. And we have trouble interpreting what a gift is, because we've put different connotations on that word as well. But I will tell you, it's whatever you were born with. Whatever you were born with is your gift. Now, you may have labeled it something else. You may have called it all kinds of strange names and labeled it in a way that you can't find the value in that gift. But that is what I help people do. That is what my program does. And it is a very individual thing. And I'll give you more information about that. You can actually go to the site and read it. But what I came to, because I had a channeling session yesterday as well, which much of this information came through. I know that a lot of people haven't seen those, but if you did, you would understand that I had received the information talking about what is happening in the world now. I really did receive that. And it would be kind of crazy for me to think that it didn't happen. The results of it are before me. What I'm saying is that every single person, you have something within you that you are meant to unleashed, that you're meant to develop, and you're in the world now, because if you decide to do that, the world changes, and we would not be having wars as we're having, and we would not be having famines. There are many other things going on in the world that a lot of people aren't even paying attention to, that we all could change if we decided to own who we were, if we decided to become more loving of ourselves and release our judgment. When we release our self-judgment, we release it from others, and then collectively we start creating a very different world. So I just wanted to give you this and explain why that message. And if you go and read the message there and also listen to the channeling session, all of it will come together and make sense. What is happening in the world is not accidental. This is an event that was happening, and it's still happening, and it's going to go on for a little while longer until we decide that we're going to move and do something individually. That means you're going to do something to own yourselves and put a different energy into the world that shifts the imbalance that we've experienced for eons, basically. Some of you will really understand this and be motivated to move on with what you're meant to do in your life. All right, I'll see you guys soon.